Hello and welcome to the Plain English Finance Podcast, the podcast dedicated to helping you make smarter financial decisions. I'm your host, Trey Bino, certified financial planner and chartered investment manager. I'm a financial planner with TC Wealth Management and Visa Wealth. For more details or to send in your questions, check out the show notes at treybino.ca/podcast. And if you want to learn more about me, start with episodes 1 and 2. So welcome to the 32nd episode. So this episode is on credit scores.
Yay.
I hear so much garbage from lots of different people, very well meaning, on building credit, how they calculate it, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So let's actually look at it.
I've heard as soon as you buy something on your credit card, you have to go in and pay it immediately. That's good for your credit score. I've heard you should max out your card. And that's good for your credit score.
Yeah. If you don't leave anything on there, that's not good. You need to leave something owing on the credit card. Yeah, I've heard lots of complete garbage.
Tips and tricks.
So we're gonna go through the information directly from Equifax. So Equifax, there's two credit reporting agencies in Canada. One of them is called Equifax, the other one's called TransUnion. In Canada, they're the ones that if you go to apply for a loan, they're the ones that the institution is going to be asking for your credit score. Okay. And the credit score shows a bunch of information. It shows any open loans that you have right now, shows where your employee history is. It shows your current address. It shows a bunch of information. It's also how you would track to see if somebody is fraudulently using
laundering money or something.
Well, no.
I heard fraud and was like,
it must be money laundering. No, fraudulently like open credit cards in your name and things like that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Identity theft.
Yes.
Possibly.
Right. So that's how you would, that's the reason people are going to be stealing your identity typically is because they want to take credit cards out in your name or whatever. So what is a credit score used for?
It is used for one of the C's in lending.
Well, here you go.
Character, maybe? Credibility?
Character. Yeah, it's character.
You didn't say yes right away, so I started throwing out more.
So she's referring to there's some things that you look at when you're lending money to somebody to determine the risk of the loan. But your credit score is one of them, and it's character. That's how because we don't know the individual, like a bank doesn't know the individual personally. So they use something to determine, okay, what's the likelihood this person's going to pay me back?
Yep.
And so it's character. So somebody with a high credit score has proven over time that they know how to use credit well, and they're very likely to
pay it back.
Okay. What things do you think would make up the credit score?
It would be things like paying your bills on time. Is that what you're asking? Sorry. Just things on
kind of. So report. Payment history makes up part of the score. Yeah. So that's actually 35% of the credit score.
Oh.
Payment history.
Now I'm like, what else is on there? Because that's all I cared about. Does it count if, I guess, payment history, timing? Is that part of payment history? What? Well, depending on, are you on time with your payments kind of thing?
Still payment history. Yeah. Like, are you late?
I don't know. What else?
This is only 35%.
Address,
so
phone number, name. What did you say at the beginning?
You don't get points for just putting your name down.
Yeah. What kind of a test is this? Let me think. Oh, how often you check your credit? Is that part of it?
So inquiries.
I'm reaching back into my banking.
Yeah. So inquiries. So there's two types of inquiries. There's hard pulls and soft pulls.
Yeah.
Hard pulls is when you are applying for credit.
Yeah. Like you're going in for a car loan. They need to pull your credit or a mortgage or something.
Yeah. But a pre-approval, for instance, is a soft hit and doesn't impact your credit score.
Yeah.
So that's like you're going in to see if they would give you a loan. Pre-approval, you're applying for a bank account. That's a soft hit. Somebody is checking your identity because we use credit reports to check people's identity. Soft hit, things like that. Is if you're applying for credit, hard hit. If you were looking for inquiry sake for some other reason, soft hit, doesn't impact it.
So even just curiosity?
Yeah.
Can people do that? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a soft hit, right? And that's 10% of your credit score.
Okay, so we're at 45.
Yeah,
Halfway there, sort of.
kind of.
Let me think. How much credit you have? If you have 8 credit cards, 6 car loans, whatever.
Kind of. So
Lots of
there's
available credit. I don't know.
so you're mixing a few, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's used credit versus available credit. So for instance, if you have a $10,000 credit card and you are spending $10,000,
That's bad.
that's bad, right?
Yeah.
You clearly cannot use credit cards properly. Okay?
Hmm.
That's simple as that. That makes up 30% of the score.
Okay, so that was a big,
That's a
big
major
one.
one. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah.
So, 30. What are we? How much more do I need?
I'll go through it. So then there's credit history. So how long you've been using credit for.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So if you just have a bunch that are recently
So if
opened
you're new to credit, obviously it's not going to give you bonus points
for being new,
for being
no,
new. If
no.
if you've had a credit score that's been good for 30 years, they're going to be like, that's bonus points for you.
Yeah. So they want to better see that you have been able to properly handle credit over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Credit mix. So
Oh,
different types
types
of
of credit.
credit.
Yeah.
So they want to see that you have managed regular loans on a like in a chunk that you've paid back. You have to pay back $500 a month for 5 years, right? Regular payments. Mortgages, different type of credit. Lines of credit, different type of credit. Credit card, different type of credit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a positive if you have used appropriately well many different types of credit. It shows that you're responsible no matter the type of credit that you're being given.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all of them?
That's all of them. Yeah. So payment
Okay.
history, credit usage, credit history, credit mix, inquiries. Okay.
Yep.
So based on those things, what are some legit ways that you can improve your credit score?
I would say start as soon as possible, because if you're looking for time,
Mm-hmm.
you should. A lot of young people are scared of credit, I think, or don't understand it fully. But if you start as soon as you can and just use it responsibly, it's going to benefit you.
But let's not say use it responsibly. We'll go through exactly what does that mean.
Okay, yeah.
But
Well,
so
okay.
use credit
Soon, as soon as you
soon, yeah.
can.
So that tackles which area of credit?
That's the one about time
Credit history.
history. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we looked at payment history, how do you think we would?
Make sure you're not having balances sit on your MasterCard or whatever credit card, Visa.
Well, that wouldn't impact it,
If you
right?
left a balance on
If you
there?
left, no, that has
Well,
nothing to do
no,
with
I
payment
mean, like,
history.
you're not even paying the minimum balance. You're
Okay, well,
not.
that's not leaving a balance on there. That's skipping payments.
Sorry.
Very different.
You're
Okay.
skipping payments.
Be specific.
I'm
I don't want
sorry.
to give bad advice.
I know.
Be specific. So,
That's why
payment
you're giving
history.
the advice, not me.
Payment history, you want to make sure that there is no such thing as it doesn't matter if you don't pay.
Yeah.
Just because the minimum payment is $50 and you're like, it's just $50. If you miss that minimum payment, that is marked on your credit report.
Yeah.
So make sure you are paying what you owe according to the terms of the contract on time. Not late, not early. There's
Oh,
only those two options. No, you pay it on time
that's it?
because you also need it to report.
Okay.
So yeah, you pay it on time. That's payment
Okay.
history. You pay it as per
The
the
contract.
contract, right? You
So either
prove
the
you're
full balance
responsible,
or the minimum balance. If it says it's owed this day, you pay it
pay it
on that day or whatever. Make sure it's
according to the rules of your
contract.
contract. Okay?
Okay. And then,
Used credit versus available credit.
so don't max out your credit available.
Hmm.
If you have a credit card that's $5,000, don't every month be spending $5,000. Make sure you.
Tika,
Oh,
Tika's snoring.
oh, she's sad now.
Don't snore that day.
You woke her up. Who knows what she was dreaming of? Anyway,
Bunny rabbits.
sorry, what was it? Available. So
Yeah.
if you have that amount, don't go to the top every month. Make sure you have room available. So
Mhm.
if you need more, if you're noticing you're getting close to that amount, you obviously need a higher credit.
Yeah.
limit. So you should up it.
What do you think the credit utilization is that I found on Equifax that they recommend staying below
In general?
for
Got
like a credit card? Yeah. So if you had a $10,000 credit card, what do you think they would an ideal amount to stay below is?
7,000 maybe?
That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
3,000.
What?
30%.
That's
That's
wild.
optimal. So I would say there'd probably be like a few lines there, like, but 30% is apparently that's what Equifax say.
That's
I
crazy.
would say I think that's a little crazy. I would say 70%, like 7,000 seems
Because
more
I was
reasonable,
thinking
but
you would
says
give
three.
yourself room for an emergency or whatever, you're managing it properly. I
Yeah.
would not have guessed that.
I mean, I was surprised when I read that,
Yeah.
but so that means your line of credit, your $10,000 line of credit, that means that you'd want to be staying under $3,000 owing reported on to the credit bureau on that, which seems
According
very low.
according to Equifax.
According to Equifax, yeah. So I would say definitely below seven, because that's what I would have said.
Yeah.
But it says three. It says 30%, which seems very low to me.
Yeah.
But if you were maxing it out,
Bad news.
bad news, right? So it will reflect negatively on your credit report. Okay.
Yep.
What was the next one?
We're
Credit
jumping around,
history,
aren't
credit
we?
mix.
Okay, so that's the types of credit you have.
Yeah.
I used to tell people, now I don't know if this is correct, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I used to tell people who are young, get a credit card and put one or two bills under your name and have those being paid, because things like your utilities show up on your credit score
Some
paper
report, some don't.
bureau.
The thing about a lot of them, yeah,
Like the
I don't think it's
city, I
bad
think is,
advice,
yeah, I would say like if you
but
have a
they
bill,
tend to only do it if it's bad.
oh, they only report it if it's bad.
I'm trying to think of just perfect reports, and it's been a long time since I was checking reports. But it didn't mention anything. I couldn't find anything
Hmm.
on Equifax about bill payments.
Yeah.
But I know they report, and I know that when I was lending,
Because I've
seems like a
seen
long
it
time ago.
sometimes
Yeah,
on.
it will show, but as a negative, like if people miss it.
That's true. Now I'm trying to think of, well, I
Because
can't
then they'll
remember
report. Then I
specifics,
feel
but
like they have a reason to report. But other than that, I don't know if they do.
huh.
I
That,
couldn't find anything on it. I couldn't find anything
yeah.
on their website about bills, because that was something that I would tell people as well. Like,
Yeah.
just
The mix, I probably, honestly, I would say don't worry too much about it at the beginning.
it's only 10% of the score.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to need more types of credit. You don't have to go out and get a bunch. You're not
Mm,
even going to be able to get a bunch, most likely, because people are going to say you don't have any credit. So you can't.
yeah,
It's
possibly.
like the hole in the bucket.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would say just let that happen naturally,
yeah, and
I guess.
I'll go over what my recommendations would actually be. But yeah,
But that's my
I would agree.
recommendations. I'm just kidding.
Okay, we'll go over what yours would be, and then we'll do mine.
Start a compliance again. I'm joking.
Okay, and then inquiries.
um, so don't be trying to get a bunch of credit. Like Walmart and Home Depot, they have those credit cards. So don't just sign up for all those credit cards, because they probably are a hard hit.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great. That I'll just sign up for another card even if I don't use it." No, just keep it simple. Why would you want?
I don't think you need any more than two credit cards. I don't
Yeah.
see why you would need them
People
more
like
than
to be
two.
complicated. Well, maybe they don't. Somebody out there probably likes the points programs and
Well,
all the insurances and
see,
it's
what I
like,
think actually happens, because again, I work with some very wealthy individuals, don't have tons of cards. I think it's people that want access to credit and they go
mm,
and maximize the cards. I think it's people that struggle to utilize credit
yeah,
properly are the ones that have 4 or 5 different cards,
which again is annoying from a marketing point of view again.
because it's kind of targeted towards
It
them.
is
Yeah.
targeted. It's, yeah, you can save this much right now. Again, it's short-term incentives that people who are in more dire straits need those things, so
Mhm.
they'll be more likely to sign up for it. Yeah. We've already talked about this in the Klarna stuff. I really don't like that because it feels very,
Predatory.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
Yeah. But one thing for Oh no, well, okay. Yes. So those are the things that you should absolutely do.
Hmm.
As I mentioned, they said inquiries with 10%, credit mix is 10%, credit history is 15%. I would say those three things, apart from just going out and getting a bunch of hard hits, which if you're trying to
Yeah.
build credit, you
And don't
probably
be
wouldn't be
like
doing anyway.
constantly checking your credit
Well,
score.
that's got nothing to do with hard hits.
But it's soft hits, isn't it?
Yeah,
When
but
it's
soft hits doesn't
do
impact your
anything?
credit score. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought soft was like
No.
just a little negative.
No. See,
Okay.
I said I've heard a lot of garbage around credit scores.
Hey, I'm learning too.
Your credit score does not take into account requests a creditor has made for your credit file or credit score in order to make a pre-approved credit offer to review your account with them, and it does not take into account your own requests for a copy of your credit history. These are examples of soft inquiries or soft pulls of your credit.
Hmm. There you
So,
go.
no, only hard hits matter. Softs do not.
I find it really funny that they have this. And I worked at a credit union. Like I know I wasn't an advisor per se, but I did open accounts. I helped people.
Mhm.
People asked me for advice. And I worked with advisors, and not to call anybody specific out, but I heard some of,
Oh, I've heard so much stuff.
yeah,
I
like does anybody actually know?
Yes, it's right here. It's right here.
Does
It's just
anybody
it's
out there?
what happens is like people it's like folk tale, right? Like it's like somebody will say it
Yeah.
and then well, I just tell my clients to do this or my members to do this and
Or
that
my
just
uncle
kind of
told me, and he
yeah,
has great
and that
credit.
just
Oh,
that's the best one. I love that where somebody with great credit is giving this weird advice. It's well, I did it and I got great credit. It's like causation versus correlation. That
yeah.
whole it's like just because you have great credit and you paid off your credit cards every single time you used it doesn't mean that that's the reason you have great credit, right?
Yes.
It's like I could now go we both have another thing about credit it is and once you are over 750 who cares?
Yeah.
It is not
Nobody else
a
cares. Yeah.
no, it is not a at a certain point you want to have good credit because you want any credit that you are offered, but to obsess about it once you if you're repairing your credit, obsess over it, repair it.
Yeah.
But once you hit 750 plus, who cares? Other things in
Move
your world,
on.
yeah. The
Yeah.
only time I care about it is when we're doing something and it's still like a few points less than yours. Um,
It's because you moved from the UK
yeah,
and
probably.
you had to start credit here
Yeah.
a little later than I had
Although
started
I
it.
think
So.
didn't you have a? I think you had a parking ticket, right?
No, I think I know what you're talking about. I had a. Am I really going to tell this story? Nobody wants to know, right? Right?
I
No,
can't remember what was it.
it was a bill from the city of Regina when we moved,
Oh yeah,
and it had been sent to our old address, and it just
we
got
didn't get it.
lost in.
Yeah.
It was a very small amount that we were still owing for water. It was
What do
like
you remember what it was?
I think it was like $50 maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And all of a sudden I
And that
got
was
this
years,
letter.
right?
Yeah, it was years. And I nobody called me. Like I didn't have any other mail. I mean, that I knew
And
of
you
anyway.
still had a better credit score than me.
I did.
So,
They sent it to collections and I got the letter for that and I was like, what the heck? What
yeah.
is sent to collections? And then I called them, squared it up immediately, and I asked the girl, is this gonna go on my credit report? Because I'd never had anything bad
Negative.
on my
Yeah.
credit. She's like, yeah, well, but then a few years later, we pulled her credit and I was still above you.
I don't remember what it was. It was 8 something or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah, it
what I'm
doesn't
saying
matter.
is that the point is that it's that don't obsess about the credit score. The credit score is something that financial institutions use to determine your responsibility with credit. If you are responsible with credit, your score will go up. So it
Yeah.
is that simple.
Yep.
Going back to the actual stuff. Okay, so what would I actually recommend that people do to build credit? Focus on the big areas. Credit history, credit usage versus availability, and your payment history. Those are the big ones. Between those three, that's 35, 30, and 15%.
Oh yeah.
That's the vast, vast, vast majority of your score
Yep.
is made up of those things. And those things you have direct control over.
So in easy terms, you would say have available credit.
as early as you can.
As early as you can. Don't use more than
30%. It says 30%, so
30%.
I'm going to say 30% in brackets next to it in the Trey version with zero proof. I would say 70% is for some. That's the number that I've. But again, people say the website
Causation versus
Equifax says
correlation.
30%.
Imagine
So,
what our credit scores could be if we stopped using
oh
up to
man, yeah.
7%.
I
70.
just think 30% is nuts. I just don't know. I mean, that you would end up with a really, really high limit if you was trying to genuinely stay below 30%.
Well, I'm thinking people who sign up for cards at the beginning, isn't the limit usually $500 or something? So
Yeah,
what would that be? $100? It's, I don't actually know the math. Don't ask
$150.
me. I'm sorry. Good thing I was close at least.
It was pretty nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so
guess you could. I mean, you would just put on like this day and age, like a Big Mac's meal a month and pay it off.
no
That'll be what
kidding.
you would use. I don't
My
know.
gosh.
But use
Brutal.
it. But my recommendation, focus on those three things. So if you're trying to build credit, start as early as humanly possible. Get a credit card. I know there's lots of like, as long as you use it responsibly, the credit cards are great. We use a credit card for everything practically.
Mhm.
Just I've also never paid interest on a credit card,
Yeah.
right? So number one rule is if you do not have it in your bank account, you do not put it on a credit card.
Yeah.
Credit cards are not designed for, no, they are designed. You should not use a credit card to spend money you do not have.
Yeah.
If you do not have the money, you cannot be spending the money.
Yeah.
A credit card is use it,
As a tool.
yeah, paid off in full every single month. If you are finding that you cannot pay it off in full every month, then credit cards are probably not for you.
Or work on your self discipline. There are ways to do it. People sometimes, I just don't love the excuse of, oh, you have to give up the tool. It's like, no, you're a human. You can change. You can do better.
Yes.
Come on, people.
Yeah, I
Behavior.
agree with you to a degree, to a point.
Yeah,
You can
I
get
get
through
it.
life without credit cards if they are something that you struggle to use properly. But you're right, you will never, if you cannot use a credit card properly, you'll never have full control over your finances or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're pretty much exclusive opposite to each other because it means that you have very little self-control.
Yeah.
You
Or you're kind of the type, I'm getting scared to start saying this. You might be the type of person to justify things, self justify, and not take accountability.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to do it was an emergency. Okay, well, emergencies are very rare and one off things. That's why they're
Also,
called emergencies.
the definition of emergency is very different per different people, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
one thing that I often hear is like my car broke down. If somebody can find me the car that they can expect to never break down,
The
the
Pontiac
one that's
Vibe.
currently got no compression in the third and fourth chamber, and we probably have to replace that one, that car that never breaks down. But you're right, it didn't break down for how long have we had that thing?
Yeah.
Ages and ages and ages.
Yeah.
Still, I do not expect it to continue on forever, right? Like, cars break, stuff. It is not a, how could we have seen this coming? Your vehicle breaking down. That is like, oh, how I had to replace tires. What you mean the thing you should be doing every so often, every few years? These are not, I couldn't plan for these type of events.
Honestly, I can't really think of. Blech. Wow, this is a rough one for us. Did I even say a word just then?
I don't think so.
I can't think of an emergency that you couldn't plan for, if that makes
No,
sense.
because as soon as you have an emergency fund,
It's like the mental, I guess. You don't need to think of the specific emergencies, but things like I've heard furnace, water heaters overflowing or whatever.
that's what an
like,
emergency fund is for, right?
you don't need to
Like,
think of every single emergency. You just need to say, okay, this is my emergency fund. And if something comes up that I wasn't planning for, then I have the backup. But
yeah.
anyway, sorry, we're kind of.
And something very controversial that I'm going to say anyway.
Yay!
Is when it comes to, and I will probably end up doing an episode on debt and stuff like that, but when it comes to an emergency fund, and people love to give money, right? It's great. Everybody should give money to those others that need it, to family, etc., etc. If you do not have a fully funded emergency fund, you cannot afford to give money. You can't. I know, again, people think whatever they want to think, but you are putting other people in the situation that they might have to bail you out so you could feel good about yourself, basically.
It's like a loop of some kind.
If you can't afford, if your cousin is asking you for money and you can't afford to replace your furnace if it breaks, and we're in Saskatchewan, what are you going to have to do in order to replace your furnace? You then have to go ask your aunt for that money. If that's the position that you're putting yourself in to give to that other individual, that is not okay. You need to, again, another controversial thing, especially as a family person. It's like my family comes first in those regards. So by me making decisions that would put my family's stability at risk, just so I feel good about helping somebody else, I am not really helping. I'm not helping the people that I have the genuine responsibility to, right? And emergency funds are a no argument thing for me when it comes to you building anything for yourself. Like, if you do not have an emergency fund, you are one thing away from huge consequences. And it's not even one thing that never happens. It's like things that will happen guaranteed.
Yeah.
Your water heater is going to go. Your furnace is going to go. Your car is going to break down. You are going to need to buy a new car. You're going to need to replace new vehicles. Like, you're going to need to do these things. You need to plan ahead of time.
Yep.
Right. And
that makes sense.
Just because family needs it or somebody needed it, if it's coming from other money, one thing, it's completely different. But to be pulling money out of your emergency fund to help somebody else, very dangerous, very scary.
So what if, like, I see what you're saying. No. Sorry, because I was basically going to say, if you have your emergency fund and it's an emergency for them and they need it, and you could afford, but no, you can't.
You can't afford it if it's coming from your emergency fund.
Right.
If you've fully funded your emergency fund and you have investments and savings and stuff outside of that and you can afford it, that's completely different. I'm saying if you are taking it out of your emergency fund because that's the only money you have available and you're giving it to somebody else for their emergency fund, not okay.
Yeah.
For their emergency, not okay. That is, emergency funds are the basic start. Like, you do not have the money to give it away. You don't have it. So emergency fund, just, I can't stress it enough. The amount of people that, when I was working like in the branch and working with a slightly different demographic, you try so hard to help people, and you try to coach them and talk them through things. Everything breaks down. You can have a year of hard work to get out of that, and a single emergency that they're not prepared for will put them back into it. Yeah. So having an emergency fund is table stakes. You have to have somewhere that if it happens, you have access. And if you are very responsible with money, you can use other sources as an emergency fund. I use a line of credit. Have a line of credit sitting there. If I need it, I could access it. But that's not the only money that I have access to. It's just, it will be the quickest that I could
and it's
would
not
take
cash,
from. It's not cash because I hate sitting on a bunch of cash.
See episode, whatever it is.
Almost every other one. It's just, I know it isn't controversial. I don't think it is. Yeah, but I know it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I could see why you said it could be controversial, but I can completely understand your point as well. Yeah. I think people who, again, unfortunately, who would fall into that category are still the people who, they're so kind. They're so, like, they have such good intention, but it's not actually helpful.
Mm-hmm. They're the same people that will enable instead of help, right? So like somebody needs help, somebody's struggling with whatever the issue is, and they will enable that person instead of help that person get better.
Yeah.
And that there is a fine line, but it is a really important line to distinguish. If you are enabling somebody to continue to make bad choices, you're enabling, you're not helping that person, but it will make you feel better.
Yeah.
And there is that line.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I can't remember if I went through the things. Yeah, I went wildly off topic. Okay, payment history. Make sure you get credit as early as you can. Leave it open. Like, don't change credit cards a bunch. If you start at 18, as soon as you can, get a credit card, keep that one account open for the long term. Get a free card with the $500 limit. And then when you have better credit and you can get better cards, just keep that one open until your credit's in a position where you're happy with it, right? You don't even have to use it. It's just you need time. And that's only one way to get time, and that's go through it.
Just to clarify, you don't even have to use it if you get a new card. You have to use it at the beginning.
Yes.
Get your free card, start using it. Don't go to the limit.
Keep under your 30%.
Yeah, keep under your 30%. Pay it off every month as per the contract or whatever. Yeah. And
don't miss any payments. If you need to set it up so you have automatic payments set up, do that. Whatever it is, especially while you're building, because you making mistakes during the building process is a lot more impactful than you going into collections when you already have an 800 score, right? Like,
I'm pretty sure they were like, it's fine.
Yeah, probably.
Like, that's bad, but it's true because they probably saw the amount and were like, oh.
Yeah, and you've proven all the other things and everything else that you are, so.
Somewhat responsible, except if we move.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. The water company. And doesn't matter. Yeah, so available credit and credit history. Honestly, you do those things, focus on that area, you build good enough credit scores.
Yeah.
And really your goal is just to get to a place where you get preferential rates, which is around 750 at any institution. Once you get over that 750 mark-ish, nowhere will deny you lending.
Yeah.
You'll probably get good rates. Nowhere will deny you lending if you
meet the other criteria.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so yeah, nice and simple.
There you go.
No extra craziness. Keep it simple. And if you want to check out more, go to Equifax, go to TransUnion, go to the website itself, and they have articles on it. I just pulled and summarized 3 or 4 of them that I saw on there, but all the information's there. So I don't know why we just make it up.
This is one of those things where if you're making a decision, I remember in your episode 1 or 2, one of them, you say, you should only take advice from 2 people, either people who are in the position you want to be in or the experts.
Yeah.
I would say this is when you should just go to
the experts. Yeah.
Just stop listening to Uncle Fred's advice.
I wouldn't even say the experts, because I would say just go to the source and read the material, because it's all there. It's
just read
really
the rules.
Simple. Yeah.
It's basically a rule book.
Yeah.
Follow these rules and everything will go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. It really is.
Yeah.
But okay, perfect.
Awesome.
That's the end of the episode. Next episode is on RESPs. So it's an account episode. So probably very different than what you may have heard of before, because we're going to talk about we'll talk a little bit about the account itself, but we're going to talk about the accumulation phase and the deaccumulation phase and strategies to do it. So whereas before maybe you know that there is grants and stuff like that, but how to maximize and take advantage of them, that's what we're going to go through. So the strategy behind it. Okay?
Perfect.
So we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Plain English Finance Podcast. Trey Bino, Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Investment Manager, is a financial planner with TC Wealth Management and Aviso Wealth. You should always consult with your financial, legal, and tax advisors before making changes. This podcast is provided as a general source of information and should not be considered personal investment advice or solicitation to buy or sell any securities. The views expressed are those of the individual and are not necessarily those of Aviso Financial Inc. Mutual funds and other securities offered through Aviso Wealth, a division of Aviso Financial Inc.